So in this lesson, I'm going to show you the visual math, and don't need to think about that hi-fi math. This is a very normal math, visual kind of math we have here. And of course, this lesson is going to be very much advanced. That whatever you have learned so far, and that is a side, and this is another side of the new in totality. So that is why I have kept it in last, so that you can follow me along. If you're not understanding this thing, I will try my level best to make you understand that how it's happening and what is happening. So now we have an image right here. So first of all, I can tell you that this is not at all a flag kind of thing. I have just made a sphere, and we have some green color in it. All right. So the first thing is that I don't need this green color. Simple. This is the main thing. I don't need this green color. I only need this red ball, right? So how can I make this possible? So first of all, the first thing we need to have clean plate. What do you mean by clean plate? Clean plate means that we don't need this red kind of thing. We don't need. We need only this green thing all over the place. All right. If I take a constant here, and if I click to get the eyedropper and control click on it, so that means is what that we have got a clean plate. But the thing is that clean plate is looking like exactly like this. So we don't have any kind of secondary color or second color. So we have only a flat single color, right? But the problem is that this is not the way we are going to make it, because we have to use only this one, and we have to use this one to make this clean plate, right? So to do it, we have to have this 𝐼𝐵𝐾 color we have here, and this color is extremely nice for making clean plate. So now you can see black. Why this is black? You can see this is screen type is blue. So where is blue? Nothing is blue, right? That is why this is black. So if I make it green, you can see that the green is there, but we cannot see any kind of red. So now you can see this is size. So size, I can make it like I can see the size is patching this thing up. But in this case, I am going to make it 20. And erode. Erode means is what that it will, it will drag the pixel here. So means the hole or this, black dot is going to be bigger. So in this case, I can make it 60. So you can see this is bigger, and the patch black. And you can see we have patch black. That means this black is going to be patched. Means if I make it 5, now you can see everything is, our constant, right? So you can make it 3, you can see 2, 1, I can make it 5 here. So 20, 60 and 5. So by this 𝐼𝐵𝐾 color, I have made a clean plate. So if I click here and press Alt P, so I can see this thing, my clean plate. All right, so now we need another one, that is this one. This is going to be the key light. So in this key light, the source, so first of all, I would like to show you that this is overwhelming, so you are not going to see these things. So this is meaningless. You can see here we have source, and don't need to see this pipe, whatever I am going to show you, exactly that you need to see, that's all. And we have this source, and what we need to do, that why I am doing this thing, see, I can make, this is red, green and blue, right? So I can make it 1, because I am working with green channel. So green channel should be 1, right? And you can see the green color, proper green color, right? But this is not a green color, right? So what I need to have, I need to have green color in here. So I need a merge node, and I can merge this, and you can see if I minus this thing, so I will get green color. So that means what is happening, and how I am going to determine this, that A pipe is going to be here and B pipe is going to be here. So don't need to determine this thing. The easiest way, if you make a mistake, then you can understand it, that yeah, I have made a mistake. So then what you can exchange it. So this is a clever thought. Otherwise, if you have something like this, so minus, you can make form. So same thing is this. So minus and form are same thing. Only one thing we have the changes. If we see, you can see here that if I see the operation for from that B to A, and in the minus we have A minus B, B minus A minus B. This is the formula we have here. So exact same thing, from and minus, exact same thing, but I am using minus to make you understand that properly. So in this case, shift X to swipe this pipe, right? So this is how what happens, that you have got only the green. So you can see the green channel. If I show you that thing, red channel, we don't have red color. In this blue, we don't have any blue color, and we have only green color here, see? And this is a constant color. Very nice, right? And the same thing I can do for this, because this is also not proper green. This is the proper green thing. So if I see this, you can see you have little bit of red, little bit of blue we have here. So same thing. So select it, press Alt and K. Why Alt and K? So this is a clone kind of thing. So you can see this is clone. C for clone we have here, right? So source is going here, and this is going here, and 1. So same thing, you can see the same effect we are getting. So we don't have any kind of like expression line. That's because of we have made it hidden, Alt E, so you can see this thing. So it will be very messy. So for that, press Alt E to hide this thing, right? So what we have done the exact same thing, that this is a color, we have like bluish color only, and this is a bluish color with that red dot, red thing, right? So this is the first step. The second step we have here, the first step is going to create this clean plate. The second step is going to get only green color, right? And the third step is going to be that we can go edit, project settings, and set the project is set. Very nice. And I need this checkerboard. So this is going to be our BG, right? So now press M key, and I can put it here and put it here and make it plus. Plus means is what, that if I press 1 key, now I can see that I have got some problem in here, because you can see this is the color is also getting plused with this background. So that means we can see through. If it is, I can show you that thing. If it is a constant with black color, now see, we are getting exact same thing, but still we are getting this thing, right? But how to get rid of this tint? So first of all, you need to understand from where the tint is coming. So if I click on here, you can see the tint is coming from this. Means this is the tint we have, and this is the same tint we have. But in this tint we have the red thing, but in this tint we don't have anything, a single color. That is why we have created this one. So otherwise there is no needed to create this thing. So this is created because of we need to eliminate these color from the background. So how can I do that? Press M key, and same thing, I am going to minus this one. So go to this minus, and of course I need to swipe this, shift X. Now what happened? That this color is coming into this. So I have made it minus. That means is what? That it's gone. That color is gone. Simple. If you minus something, that thing is going to be subtracted, right? So now we don't have that color here. Now what? What can I do for this? My one problem is gone, but another problem is still there, that it is also see-through kind of thing. So that means if I've showed you that if I have black background, I can have a very nice red color, right? So how can I make black background in that circle? So this is the trickiest part and extremely important. This is a very, very important. Now you can see we have this one and we have this one. So what we can make, so we have I can make this thing. So this is A and this is B. Now you can see I can make this divide. Okay, and now what I can make, I can take saturation, because now we have this color. So saturation is this, so make it 0. I can put it here, and I need Alt and K to get a clone. Now you can see saturation, that means we don't have any color right now. So this is totally white and black. That means you can see, if I show you that in red, green and blue, just take a look, 1 1 1. That means this is pure white, and you can see we have a black thing. So that means we have got black. And you can, you'll be wondering that why divide. And so the thing is that it's a very silly answer. If I choose anything, so if I press arrow, down arrow, so you can see nothing is there that will give me this output, divide. This is white, this is black. So there is nothing, no operation can give me this. That is why you can take it. So everybody has their different brains. So the process of the brain is also different. So make your own story and then try to understand what is happening, right? So now we have divided, because we can see that we have this white, black, and this white. So we know that if I multiply this, multiply means how we can multiply this. So press M key and multiply, and put it here and put it right here. Now what is happening, you can see we have, when we are going to multiply something, that white is going to be deleted or erased. Only we have this black circle, right? So you can see the same thing is happening. So if we have this circle which is black, and then you can see that thing, that we are getting exactly what we need, that we don't have any kind of grains thing, or neither we have any tint, and we have only this thing, right? So exact same thing you can use if I so see, we have here 1 2 3 input is getting connected, 1 2 3. So if I press full stop, so you can see we have a dot node, so we can use only one input to connect it here. So exact same thing, if I have this image and put it here, now you can see that the green screen removal you can have this way. So now see, there is no green spill here, and you can see each and every hair in detail. Now this is very easiest way you can make green screen removal, or this is called one kind of thing, visual math. Or if you have blue screen, then what you can do, double click on it, change it into blue, simple. So this is a non destructive way to make it happen. And also you can make a gizmo of it. Later on I'll show you that how to make gizmo. So if you have any questions about this thing, you can ask me any point of time. Thanks a lot for having this course, and I feel that I have given you the value that you have purchased it. Thank you for that. Now we know that why we need this bounding box and what is the importance of this bounding box, right? But we have seen this thing, but in only one image, and how to calculate this bounding box. That is also very important, because this bounding box is not created by me, or this is automatically created by this transform node, right? So what if I don't have bounding box and I need to create bounding box? And what if I need to create this thing for sequence, not only for single image? So first of all, for sequence, I need to animate this, and a very simple animation I'm going to do. So first thing is that this translate, we have right click, set key, and put this right here, and go to this 30 and put it right here. So we can see that we have the animation and we have the bounding box is also there. So in this case, again, I would like to have some rotation also value. So here I can make it like this. So what is happening by this? So that the bounding box is also changing according to the rotation. So this is also nice touch. All right. So I need to save this. Save means I need to export this animation. So first of all, I need to have this write node, and for a sequence render, and now we are dealing with bounding box. So channel is going to be RGBA, alpha is needed. File format is going to be PNG. So in this case, I need a folder, and this is, you can put B box. So B box is there, and choose OK. I'm going to copy this, and bbox dot png file format, you know that we need alpha, so that is why png, save it, and here we need to have hyphen and maybe 30 the animation. So this is not minus, this is hyphen. All right, so we're not using any proxy, so we don't need to use this proxy, and everything is fine. And frame range we have 1 to 30. And we need to see that the bounding box, the folder, and then after the bounding box, choose OK. And now we see that the problem is coming that we don't have multiple. So what we should have to do, we have to make that triple hash thing. So hash, 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 or you can say hashtag, hashtag, hashtag and all. So we have done this, and then you can easily have these render. And nice, it is rendering. Close this, and I can move this right here and minimize this. I have this one, we have this one, and drag this, drop it here. Now you can see that we don't have any bounding box, but we do have the animation. Very nice. But here we have the bounding box. So now how to create the bounding box? So yes, that's a good thing that you can copy the bounding box from here to here, and then also this is moving with, but I don't have this. Imagine I don't have that. Then how you can get it? So see, we have a node called curve tool. Curve tool is not at all you think that it is a manipulating colors or color correction tool. It is not like Photoshop curve tool, totally different curve tool. So don't think in that way. Curve tool means color correction, right? So curve tool we have, this is curve type is going to be that auto crop. You can see that auto crop button. And what I'm going to do, that I'm going to create the bounding box. So that means the channel is going to be alpha, because the channel is alpha means is what that when we're dealing with this bounding box, that means is what that we are dealing with alpha, right? So now these two changes you have to do, because we have this auto crop, we have this channel. Now we need to make it go. So if I click on this go button, and we can see we have how many frames do you want to calculate. So choose OK. Now the calculation is done. All right. So but you see nothing has happened. It was same as earlier. It was like that only, right? But if we go to auto crop data, you can see that we have this bounding box. But let me tell you, this is not a real bounding box. This is like one kind of region of interest kind of thing, that this one, right? So now we need to make this happen. Now you can see we have some auto crop data, and it is changing frame to frame. All right. So how to change this? So this is the animation I have. So if you have any animation inside Nuke, that section is going to be blue, deep blue, not light blue. So this is animation is there, and you can see A for animation. So that means we have animation is this curve tool, right? So we need to have crop tool, C-R-O-P, crop tool, and here we need to crop this. So you can see this is B box, bounding box, BX, right? So double click on this, and this is crop tool. Press shift key, shift from the keyboard, press shift, and this is the S button, S kind of button we have here. So drag it and drop it right here. So you can see we have got the same thing in here in the crop tool. Now I don't need this one, I need only this. So you can see that we have this bounding box by the crop tool, because crop tool is consist of bounding box, and we have all the information we have got it from auto crop. And auto crop is calculating by the alpha channel, and everything will be perfect, right? Because alpha channel is not going to confuse anytime. So you can see the alpha channel is there. So all right. So now if I play this thing, you can see we do have bounding box, and the playback speed is very faster. Why this is happening? Because render means nuke renderer, or the playback settings is only calculating this bounding box, see, instead of this whole this image, right? So this is extremely important, and how you can calculate the bounding box, the way I have delivered this thing to you, I feel that you got it properly, that how to use this bounding box and for animated object or animated PNG file. And if you don't have any information of bounding box, then you can get it by this curve tool. All right, see you in the next lecture. Now in this video, I'm going to show you about these importance of bounding box inside Nuke. So first of all, we need to have an image. So this is the image I have here. And how to get bounding box? So this is the first question, that it is full HD. So first of all, I have to make this project settings, and here we have full HD. That's fine. And if I press T key by selecting this read node, then I get this transform tool, right? And if I scale this, this one, and you can see we can get a bounding box right here. And it will be more evident if I rotate this one. So you can see we have more bounding box. So now if I have blur tool, so if I press B key from the keyboard, B for blur, so now we can see that we have blur, and if I increase the size of the blur, you can see if I make it 100, so you can see we have more blurriness in our image. So first thing that you can see that this bounding box is looking at the alpha channel. Now if I have press G key, and this is for grade node, and if I multiply there the value of this image, if I make it 0, that means is what, that we don't have any information in RGB mode. You can see we are in RGB mode, but we don't have any kind of information, but still the bounding box is there. That means is what, that if I go to alpha channel, in the alpha channel we have these information. So keep in mind always when you are dealing with this bounding box, the main thing is this, that this bounding box is always looking at your alpha channel, and then you can see the information is intact. Otherwise if I go to this red, green and blue channel, and if I make this you can see here that this area is dark. So that means is what, this line should be here, right? Because this is not visible, this is black, but it is not like that. If I go to this alpha channel, you can see we have more information in here, right? So always this bounding box is always going to take a look of your alpha channel. So in this case, I can make it more small to get a small bounding box. Now you can see that this is the bounding box looking at your alpha channel, right? So the grade node is not needed, so I can delete it. All right, so I need now to copy this, Alt and C. So I have copied it, so you can put it right here. Now see, we have these transform nodes, and both the things are identical, right? So if I put my viewer right here, and if I put my viewer right here, you can see the same image with same bounding box, right? But what if I want to I don't need bounding box in here. So one is going to be having bounding box, and another one is not. I don't need any bounding box. So what should I do? So I can press tab key and take reformat node. And in reformat node, we have this black outside button. That means is what, that now the bounding box is gone. So this is how you can delete the bounding box. So now this is without bounding box, this is with bounding box. So if I press I key, I button, now you can see here that we have 8.35 MB total usage of this blur node, right? And I'm talking about blur 2, means this is blur 2. So blur 2 is having a usage of your RAM that is 8.35 MB, and you can see the cache region. The region is 1920 and 1078 means 1080, right? And if I select this one, press I button, and you can increase this. Now you can see the blur and the total usage is 3.88. Now here we have 8.35 MB, and in here we have 3.88, and you can see cache region is extremely small, 862 into 799, and in here this is full HD. So this is with bounding box, this is without bounding box. That means is what is happening, that if I click here, means if I put the connection here, so the NUC is calculating only this area. This is the area NUC is calculating, right? And this area, this outside of the box, is not getting calculated by NUC. But here we don't have any bounding box. That is why NUC is calculating every pixel of this entire image, all right, entire format. So we don't have any kind of information or pixel information, nothing is there, right? Still it is counting. So that is why it is taking more RAM and more usage of the RAM to produce this blur instead of this one. So the blurred amount, each and everything is same, still we are getting the more usage if you don't have any bounding box. So see, so think if you have 10, 20, 50 nodes, then the usage is going to be much more higher than that, right? So this is a very, very important aspect of bounding box that you should use while you can use this bounding box feature. Now, so right now if I see this, we don't have bounding box here, and suppose what I can render this out. So if I press W key, and if I go for this red, green and blue and alpha RGB and go to file, click on here, we can go to desktop, and this is B box, like bounding box, right? And you can put PNG and save it, and you can put it right here. Okay, so this is what I'm going to render, and why I'm rendering I will tell you. And see, we have PNG file format. So why PNG? Because we need alpha channel, and render I need only one frame, and this is one to one, that's fine. Choose OK, and we have got this, and I need to grab this one and put it here, exactly the same thing. If I see this, everything is same. So why I have done this? Because suppose I don't have that. All right, so now I need bounding box. I need bounding box in this PNG format image, right? So how can I get this bounding box? I don't have that, right? So that is why I have rendered it out, okay, to show you that how you can get bounding box if you don't have bounding box in your render, right? Because this bounding box, it is not created by me. This is created by this transform node, right? But if you don't have bounding box, then how you can create bounding box? So that means is what, you can have these copy bounding box, copy B box is there, and by this copy B box you can have the bounding box in here. So if I now can see, this is A, this is B. It is not like for merge node. A is going to give you something, B is going to receive that thing, right? So in this case, who is giving you bounding box? So this is going to give you bounding box, and this is going to receive your bounding box, right? A is giving bounding box and B is receiving bounding box. Now if I see this, now we have the same bounding box which is right here. So you can see the same bounding box I have got. So if you have bounding box information, then you can copy the bounding box information in here, provided if you have this PNG file format with alpha channel, right? Because bounding box will look at your alpha channel. Otherwise, you cannot have a bounding box, right? So this is a small demonstration that I have showed you that why the bounding box is so much important inside Nuke, how you can reduce your RAM usage by using this bounding box, and for that only your playback speed, your rendering speed is also going to be very fast if you use this bounding box feature. So the topic is pre-mult, and this topic is extremely confusing for absolute beginners, even for the beginners also. That what is pre-multiplication, and the naming is like very scary. Pre-multiplication, post-dividation, something like that scariness. But in this lecture I'm going to explain you that what is the reason that we should know also these pre-multiplication and these unpre-multiplied options. So first of all, I have to show you that what is pre-multiplication, right? So pre-multiplication is what exactly means and how it looks, how it works, totally a different story. First of all, we need to know what is happening, right? What is pre-multiplication or pre-mult? So to demonstrate that, I have to rely on Photoshop, right? So I'm assuming that you have a decent knowledge of Photoshop, or even like in a beginner's level, that is more than enough for this session. Then what should I show you in this Photoshop, so that if I have this, I can take anything. So create, this is a normal page, and what I do, double click on this to we have this background, and what I want, that I need a layer, right? So first of all, I have taken a layer, right? So you can see that we have this layer, and this is transparent, so we don't have anything, and I can delete this, and I need this one, so that I can take a brush tool. We have a brush tool here, all right, and any color I can take. In this case, any color you can take. So in this case I have taken the green color, all right, and here I can make something like this, very nice, right? And I can save it. So why I don't have any background? Because I need to save this into PNG format. As you know, this PNG format has the alpha channel, or you can say that the transparency is there, you can see. So file, save as, and you can find that PNG file format, and you can put like this is PNG, any name you can choose, there is no problem. Just listen my words carefully, that what I am trying to say, what I am trying to convey, each and every sentence, each and every word you should listen properly. So then only every questions in your mind, in your brain you have about this pre-multiplication, it will be gone for forever, right? So save it first. And like this is for this larger file or small size file, I don't have any problem with any kind of larger file. This is a simple image, how long it will go, so no problem. So I have this PNG file. If I scroll down, control and scroll, you can see that we have transparent background, very nice, right? And this is what PNG looks like, right? That we don't have any background. And if I close this and choose no, and double click on it, if I import this or open it, I can see the transparency. This is what the PNG format is we are using, right? Okay, so if I drag that and drop it right here, oh my god, what is happening? This is ridiculous, right? That in Photoshop I have proper transparent background, but into my Nuke, the same image, I have opened it, and you can see something really unexpected result, right? This is white. First of all, this is not even the close of what I have drawn there, and we can see that red, green, blue and alpha channel is there. So if I can go this to alpha channel, you can see that alpha channel is there, right? That is good thing that alpha channel is there, and but still we are getting this white background kind of thing and not getting the proper result that what we are getting here, right? This kind of problem is coming, this kind of issues is coming inside this nuke. So if I click or select this node and press tab key and type pre-mult, click pre-mult, now we can see that we are having a proper result. Exactly our the look of our brush is coming properly, and we have the alpha also. There is no problem with the alpha, there is no problem with this RGB, and now everything is looking exactly what it should be. But what it is and why we need this? Because in Photoshop we don't need anything. If I close it, if I open it, you can see this thing properly. It is happening in front of our eyes, that we don't need any kind of extra work to get this kind of transparency. But here we have to use this pre-mult option. This is really confusing, right? So what is this? This is the problem, or the question is this, that if the PNG format looks perfect in the Photoshop, why it is not looking perfect inside Nuke? All right, so if I just close this, sorry for that, I need to save this into a different format. So in this case TIFF, and here I can type TIFF and save this. And we have this dialog box, and everything is nice. There is no issue with this thing. So choose OK and close this. So if I open this TIFF file, now you can see this is opening in the Photoshop in a proper way. But if I open that thing inside, now you can see we have the same problem is having inside Nuke. That white background is still coming, even though I have this TIFF format. Still we have the problem, and you can see we don't have even the alpha channel. So if I need to have the alpha channel, so I can make alpha channel. So control click, go to channel, and here you can click on this alpha, and here you can alt backspace for putting it the white color. You can get alpha channel, and now save this again to this TIFF format. Now you can see the alpha is checked, because earlier that alpha was not there, and now it is storing the alpha channel, and I guess this is gonna work just fine. So reload it, nothing is happening. If I yep, this is happening. See, the alpha is stored and it is. So now if I open it into this Nuke, oh, same thing is happening. Now see, if this one, if I have the same, still we have this white background, even though we have a good edges is okay, better than this PNG format, but still we are having this thing. And right now we are having this alpha channel. If I say this in the alpha, we have alpha, very nice. And if I come here and you can see the pre-mult, if I put, I can see we have, this is why this line thing is coming, because of earlier this is a cache thing. Cache thing means like whenever we are using this Nuke or After Effects, like YouTube, in YouTube buffering is there, like you have to buffer something, and then after, and buffering means is what, that video is temporarily storing that data into your RAM. Then only you can play back. If your net is not working, then the buffer area you can play, you can see the video. So exactly here also the cache is there. So earlier it was rendering this one, and now suddenly I have made it change this. So that is what the Nuke is not getting the proper cache. So it was getting the cache from here. So both the thing is different. So this cache and that cache is going to be different. So if a line kind of thing is coming, then you can come here and clear all the caches you have. So then there is no line thing, or maybe close it, open it, it will remove all the caches and you'll get new caches. All right, So now if I use this pre-mult, we are getting proper result. Here also the same thing, but if you are not using pre-mult, we are getting not the result we want. So what this pre-mult is doing? So first of all, this is the question that I have used T format, I have used PNG format, I have stored my alpha, manually. So still it is not happening, and it is automatically stored the alpha PNG format, but still this is also not happening. So how we can understand these pre-mult option? So first of all, you need to understand two things, that is opacity and transparency. All right, what is transparency and what is opacity? If I ask you, then you'll be thinking that both are same thing, right? So if I have made some slides in it. So if I come here and open this one, so this is opacity versus transparency, right? So opacity versus transparency, what does this mean? That opacity, what is opacity? Opacity means if I decrease the opacity, and then what will happen? That image is going, faded and faded. Exactly. Transparency means also the same thing, right? So if I have this image, and this image I have made it by RenderMan, using RenderMan. So in Maya, if I have this image right here, and Control T, make it small, press Alt key, and if I zoom this, you can see we have this opacity, right? If I decrease this, it is faded, like you cannot see if it is 0. So what do you mean by then transparency? Don't you think so that both the thing are same thing, or maybe difference can be there, like opacity versus transparency? That means is what, that you can get an impression that transparency and opacity both are different. But if I tell you that opacity and transparency, the first thing I would do, take a red color, and I can do this, that you can see, make it small. We cannot make these verses or any difference. Why? This is very silly kind of comparison, I can tell you. And why this is happening? That means you are asking the second slide, father versus child. Can you compare father versus child? Right? There is no comparison. If I have the third slide, universe versus planet. So can there is any difference, or can you even make any kind of comparison about the universe and planet? Both are total two entities, right? The thing is that what is the relation between them? Relation is there, and that is very important. Relation is planet inside the universe, means universe is bigger than planet, means universe is the father, is a son or daughter or child, right? Exactly like I have showed you, father, the child is under the father. So there is no comparison, the relationship can be there, right? So exactly, opacity has a relationship with transparency and opaque. You can say like, Earth and Jupiter, you can compare. Both are in the same space, like both are planet, right? Like this opaque and transparency you can compare, right? But opacity and opaque you cannot compare, because of opaque and transparency is a negative and positive thing, kind of thing. That means this is non-transparency, this is transparency. Transparency means is what, that you can see through of something, right? You can see through of something, that is called transparency. What is opaque? Opaque means you cannot see through, that means solid object, solid. And opacity means is like a slider. So if you increase the opacity, then it is going to be opaque, means solid. And if you decrease the opacity, it is going to be transparent. So transparency and opacity, there is no comparison, only the relationship can be there, like a child and son, universe versus planet kind of thing. So if you want to make comparison, then opaque and transparency can be compared, because opaque is non-transparent and this is transparent. So another slide is going to be the opacity is the large thing this is, and underneath of this opacity you have opaqueness or opaque and transparency. Both are in a same circle, solid, non-solid, or opaque or non-transparency, transparency. This is how it is happening, right? So now you know what is opacity. Opacity means you can say a method so that you can increase it to make the object opaque, or you can decrease it to make the object transparent, right? So exactly I was doing the same thing here. Initially, if you see this, it is looking like opacity is getting down and it is transparent now. Opacity is getting up, it is opaque now. Simple, very simple, right? So this is the demonstration of opacity and transparency. So hope that you have got the proper knowledge of what is opacity, what is opaqueness or opaque, or what is transparency, what is the relationship, if there is any comparison or not. Every question answered in this lesson, that how these things works, right? So you cannot compare both of them. So for the conclusion line, I'm going to say that if you remember this one, then you can understand that opacity is a father and this opaque and the transparency is the subordinates or maybe the junior. So these opaque and transparency, if you increase transparency, if you increase opacity, then opaqueness will come. If you decrease opacity, then transparency will come, right? So this is a relationship between three of them, and I hope that you have loved the explanation I have given to you in this lecture. So now in the previous lecture, I have showed you that what is opacity, what is transparency, and what is opaque, right? Now in this lecture, I'm talking about the alpha. What is alpha? Now you can see the definition I have written, that alpha is a channel where image can store opacity. Simple, that alpha is what? Alpha is a channel. Now if I come to this channel, now we can see that we have red, green, blue channel, right? And if I click on this icon, now you can see we have alpha 1. That means in channel, if you create another new channel, that channel is going to be called as alpha channel, because we have only red channel, green channel and blue channel. But if you create another channel, now this is an alpha channel. So this alpha channel is capable of storing opacity for that image. This is what alpha is, alright? So delete this now, I don't need it now. So now you got what is alpha theoretically, and the next slide is going to be alpha equals to opacity. Simple. So alpha is opacity and opacity is alpha. That means is what? That in alpha channel, opacity is being stored. And if you have opacity, then you should have alpha, and if you have alpha, then you have opacity. Simple. Now in this opacity, that means is what? Transparency and opaque. Transparency and opaque. Transparency means you can see through. Opaque means you cannot see through. The third slide is value of alpha. Value of alpha means is what? That opacity means 0 to 1. 2 means 0 to 1. It is not at all 0 and 1. In between number is there. Alright, alpha transparency equals to 0. That means is what? In terms of value, I'm talking about the value of alpha. Alpha transparency is 0. Means in alpha, if you have any 0 value, that means that is transparency. Or in alpha, if you have 1 value, that means that is opaque. Right? So this is the value of alpha. So let me demonstrate you the thing I'm talking about, that we have an image here and how alpha is stored in alpha channel. Let me select it and click on this layer mask. When you click layer mask, automatically you can see layer mask is created in alpha channel. So now if I select this white area and if I take a brush tool and if I make it full black and click on this white area, and if I do this, that means what is happening? This is deleted. That means is what? The value is now 0. Why 0? Because you can see this is black, pure black. That means pure black means is that 0 value. In the pixel you are having 0 value. That is why you can see through the object or the picture, right? But if I have 1 value, so you can see that you cannot see through that object. So see, that means this is white. So if it is black, then you can see through, and if it is white, then you can't see through. or if it is gray, then you can see through 50% or 50% you cannot, means based on the color intensity, that this is semi-transparent, right? So in this demonstration, what you have understood, that if you have black color in alpha, that means that area is going to be transparent. If you have white color in alpha, that means is what, that area is going to be opaque. Like exactly if I do the thing, that is going to be opaque, you cannot see through, means this is white. Or if you have black, that means you are having fully transparent area. So I am talking about alpha. If I do anything here, it is like ultimately it is affecting this alpha channel. That means is what, that in this alpha channel the black color is there, means transparent, the white color means full opaque, and the in between color will be semi transparent. Like if I take anything like this, you can see that. So that is what exactly I have written here, the value of alpha, that opacity is from 0 to 1, it is the in between things are there. Transparency means full black. You can say that 0 means black. So I can show you that thing also here, that this is black, like this is B, you can say black. Transparency means black, and opaque means white, right? And same is like this is any kind of, I cannot say that what will be this one, but this is black, fully black, and this is white. This is the transparency, this is the opaqueness or opaque. That 1 value means white, 0 value means black. You need to understand these basic things before understanding pre-mult. If you cannot understand these things, then pre-mult will be difficult. So keep it very straight and simple. In the conclusion of this video, I can tell you that alpha is an channel which will store opacity of that image, and value of alpha means is what, that the transparency means black, opaque means white. These things you need to recall or remember properly, so that I can show you exactly what pre-mult is doing. Now you have learned that what is an alpha channel and how it works. Now the time has come to know what is pre-mult. You can see the definition I have written, that pre-mult is a method to calculate stored opacity of an image. That means is what? If I break it down, now you can see, if I take a red pen, so pre-mult is a method. First of all, this is a method. All right. Now to calculate stored opacity of an image. That means is what? It is calculating the opacity. These two words is extremely important. That means is what? Pre-mult is calculating opacity. So how the calculation is happening, this is the question, right? So go to Nuke and let's see that how it is happening. Now you can see in this pre-mult that something is written multiply. Multiply means is what? Multiply means is into. This is not a cross. This is multiply, right? And multiply RGB. Now I can tell you one thing, that it is written RGB. Actually it is written RGB value. If the value is not here, but imagine it that RGB value is written here. Okay. Now this is also RGB.alpha. So to make you understand, and in a very simplistic way, RGB dot, you should not see this one. Only you see this alpha. Why? If I put the cursor here, you can see only the alpha is visible. That means is what? This is alpha. All right. So just this is alpha, so you can read it like this, by alpha, or to be very precise, by alpha value. It will be perfect, by alpha value. So multiply RGB value by alpha value. Extremely important to read in this language to make you understand. It is extremely important. Multiply RGB value by alpha value. So we have this RGB. You can see if I have this one. This is RGB, right? And you can see here this is the RGB state. And you can see right here the RGB value. So if I move this one, so you can see the RGB value. So now the value is segregated or separated into two categories. First one is outside and second one is inside. Inside means is what? That green one. So what is your concern? That green one or white one? That means the white one is the answer. That I don't need this white thing. The green thing is okay, this is my content, but this white thing is not okay. That means is what? That the outside and inside. This is main thing to remember. The outside is 111 in RGB value. See? And the inside is 1, because of we don't have red, we don't have gray, blue. So in the green also we have 1. So that means what? So if I come, if I close this, no, and if I import this image and if I make a replica of it, like this kind of thing. So if I make a replica, like by putting a white background and control, so I can control click, and another one I can have this black. So here I can merge it. So I have, this is the same thing of this one, right? Though we have some edges thing, but edges thing is not that issue. Issue is this, the outside area, right? The white part. So see, this is also the same thing. It's looking like, right? And this is RGB. I can show you. This is what I can. This is R, G and B, right? And here the amount you can see here, that is 1, 1 and 1. All right. Here also 1. So inside and outside both are 1. So you can put here that outside value, out value is equals to 1, and the inside value in is 1. So both the thing are 1, right? So now if I do like this, and let me put it right here and off it, and if I come here and go to this alpha, because of it is written here by alpha, multiply by alpha. Okay, so alpha is there. All right, so this is the alpha. Now just take a look of the alpha value. Alpha value means here you can see 0. The alpha value you can see with white color number. So alpha value of outside is 0 and the inside value is also 1. You can see here this is 1. You can see this alpha value is 1. Okay, and this is 0 and this is alpha. So you should not look at red, green, blue, right? So the alpha value is this 0 value, like in the white. So you can see this 0, this is 1, 0, 1, right? So that means the outside value, so I can make this one So make this white, Control E, and the same thing here, I can put it with a red color. The outside is 0. Okay, I have made, inverted. It should be inverted because this is black, right? So this is the same thing. So alpha is 0, and I have inverted this also. So now an inside is 1, right? And make this small and put it here. So I can make it much more bigger than that. Yep, something like this. Now see that I can take another layer. Now in this case I am taking red because a calculation will take place now. See the outside value. So outside value, out value is 1. So this is equal to, okay, and this is outside also equals to 0, and it is telling to you that multiply. That means you need to multiply this. So what will happen if I choose calculator for that? So 1 into 0, the result is 0. Very nice, 0 result. That means out is 0. Okay, and if I have in value and in value 1 and 1, so in equals to 1 into 1 equals to calculator 1 into 1, 1. So 1. Okay, that means is what? That this is alpha, this is RGB, and I have multiplied these things exactly what pre-mult is telling to us. And what we have got, that the outside is the result we have got. That if I show you in a different way, because I need to have space, and delete this. So out, change it to red, out equals to 0 and in equals to 1. This is the result of pre-mult. So if I show you the calculation of we have done in the previous class, that is the alpha value, right? So now you can see that 0 means is transparency. So the outside is 0. That means this outside, we need to have the layer. So 0 value, that means the outside is 0. 0 means transparency. That means this white area is transparent now, because the formula what we have learned in the previous class, that 0 means transparency, and inside we have this 1 value, and what we have learned, opaque means 1. So that area, this is the area which is opaque, OP, and the white area, this area is transparent, T. So exactly same thing it is doing. That what is happening, see, if I go for this red, green and blue, now you can see this is doing the same math and showing you the result. Alright, so what it is showing to me, that this area is transparent now, because it is now multiplied with the alpha and got the result is 0 and got the result of 1, right? So this is transparent and this is opaque. So that is why this white is gone now because it is now transparent, and transparent means nothing. Okay, if I go to this checkerboard and if I change the settings into HD, and if I have M for merge node, and this is A is this and B is this, now you can see this is transparent and we don't have any problem of this white thing, right? So very simple to understand this pre-mult like this. So hope you have liked the demonstration that what I have given to you to make you understand what pre-mult is and how it is calculating the alpha to get transparency, to show transparency, to work with transparency. See, this is a TIFF file and with proper alpha channel, and you can see the alpha right here. So now what is happening, so we need to take this pre-mult node and how it is calculating the opacity inside alpha. But the question is why we need this, not how. We have understood that how the calculation is happening, but why we need this pre-mult? Because first of all, if I go to this Photoshop and if I open the same TIFF format, you can see this is normal. We don't have any kind of problem. We can see the transparency. There is no white color in it. So to see this thing, we are not making any kind of extra step, right? So we are not making any kind of extra step for that, right? So but here in Nuke, we are creating or making an extra step of pre-multing. So when in Photoshop the alpha is calculated automatically, so why in Nuke it is not happening automatically? So to answer this question, first of all, you need to understand that we are comparing two softwares. One is Photoshop and another one is Nuke. Nuke is a totally different software and Photoshop is also a totally different software because Photoshop is layer-based software. In the other hand, we have this Nuke. This is node-based software. So the way Nuke is handling any image, Photoshop is not handling the image in the same way because both the softwares are different, right? This is the first thing you should know. Now, another thing is this, that what we are doing in here in TIFF format or any PNG format or any alpha supported file format, we are creating a new layer and then we are putting brush or anything like that. But you can see whenever we're creating any new layer, that is itself transparent, right? That means is what? That you are in a transparent state and then you are making some area opaque, right? And you are saving this. So that is why the transparency is getting saved automatically because you are doing anything in Photoshop in transparent area. That means transparent is by default in Photoshop. So that is why transparency is automatically saved into these file formats. So you can open it and there is no another step. But this TIFF file has come from Photoshop, right? So this is not made in Nuke. So if I make something in Nuke, then there is not going to be any problem like this white area. This means that you are creating something in Photoshop and you're opening that same thing in Photoshop and you're not getting any problem. The same thing I can do in Nuke also. If I create something inside Nuke and if I open the same thing inside Nuke, then there will be no problem. The problem only is that you are getting Photoshop file inside Nuke. That is why this white color is coming. So let me show you that how you can make this happen, that the same thing what I have done this in this Photoshop, if I do the same thing inside Nuke, let's see that white area, white part, the white color is coming or not. The first thing that I'm going to take settings, and this is a page. Page means like HD. So the same thing, if I close this, so file, new, and first thing you take page, right, and create it. Okay, so by default this is locked, but what if I do the same thing here, new, and here we have this background, make it transparent, and click. So here we have created a new page. Same thing, we have created a new page. That means this is transparent, this is also transparent, it has layer and it has nothing. Okay, that means by default this area is transparent. Now the second part, that we take brush, right, and right click, and we do this hardness, this is 100, and size we maintain 200 pixel, right? So exactly the same thing we can do is to go to this draw and come here, we have this roto paint. So the shortcut is, you can see this is P. If I click on this, the roto paint we have got right here. Though we have lots of options in this roto paint, so in this lecture I'm not going to talk about each and every options, because my focus is not to show you the roto paint right now. What I want to show you, first of all, I need to connect the viewer so that I can see the changes I do right here. So now you can see, you can think roto paint as like brush tool exactly inside your Photoshop. So the same thing what I can do, you can see here we have brush tool, okay, and here we have size, you can say 200 size I have put, hardness I can make it 1, and then the color you can select, this is the color I can select, just drag it like this. So this is the same color I have chosen, and I can make the same thing what I want, exactly same thing. Now the last step is to save it into TIFF format or PNG format. Exactly, we need to save this, right? So how can I save it? To save this thing, the name of the node is going to be right, the shortcut is W. So that saving thing is also known as inside nuke right. So if I have right node here, and now in this section also I'm not going to show you each and every options inside right node, but only I am showing you that how we are going to save a single image. So channels, the first thing we need have this channels. Channels means we need to have RGBA, A for alpha. So we need to have alpha channel also, right? Because we need to save it in PNG file format, and in PNG file format we need to have alpha. Okay, now these file, where you are going to save this file, of course in this case I'm going to desktop, and you can type nuke or anything you like, and the extension you need to put like .png, whatever the extension is going to be, like TIFF, JPG, in this case not JPG but .png, .tiff, like anything supports alpha channel. So in this case .png, save it, and now we have saved it. This is a location, and we need to render this. So first click on this one, you can see we have this frame range, because this is not an image editing software, this is for animation purpose. So we have lots of frame range we have here. So I don't need any frame range, so I need only one. The frame number you can put it right here. Okay, that only one frame I need, and choose OK, and done. The render is done. So if I go to desktop, you can see that nuke, I have rendered it right now. This is PNG file format, and delete this. And if I open the same thing inside nuke, now see, we don't have any kind of problem of that white thing, right? Why? Because this image is created inside nuke and imported inside nuke. That is why there is no problem, right? Or else this is automatically pre-multiplied. That means it has saved transparency, right? So if anything is coming, whether you make this thing inside nuke or Maya or Photoshop, if transparency is saved in the alpha channel, then you don't need any kind of pre-mult node. So in this case, I'm going to show you that this is not black. So checkerboard we have here, and we can go edit project settings, and let's check it out that we have HD, and select this one, press M key. Now you can see that we have this proper transparency, right? So now you can see there is no pre-mult node is involved in this situation. Why it is not involved? Because this is automatically pre-multiplied, means the calculation is done, the alpha opacity calculation is done, right? So if I want to have the same thing, so if I save this into TIFF file format, and when the dialog box has come, and you can see save transparency, right? So if I click on this save transparency and choose OK, that means is what? Now I am telling to these Photoshop that save the transparency forcefully, right? Now if I delete everything and open only this TIFF file which is created inside Photoshop, drag and drop it here. Now you can see that in this TIFF file format, we don't have any kind of white outside problem. Why is that? Because in Photoshop I have saved the transparency. So now the calculation is done. So like Nuke now understand that transparency is saved inside the alpha channel. That is why we don't need any pre-mult option. Still this is looking black, means transparent. So let me show you the same thing. Select it, shift select, press M. Now the same thing we are getting, but these image I have got it from Photoshop. This is not done inside Nuke. So that means is what? If you are importing any image from any software, if it is automatically pre-multiplied or saved the transparency, then you don't need any kind of pre-multiplication calculation inside Nuke, right? So this is, everything is extremely easy for you to understand how pre-mult is working and why we need pre-mult as well as when we need pre-mult. So in this demonstration I have given you all the necessary questions and answer that you can ever imagine, right? So hope you have liked the demonstration I have given to this lecture and you have understood each and everything about pre-multiplication of Nuke. Another way I would like to show you the pre-multiplication from another software that we have got the idea that pre-multiplication means is to save the transparency beforehand of importing any image inside Nuke, right? So how we are going to do it inside Photoshop, we know this thing that in TIFF format, if you save transparency, then there is no pre-mult node is needed inside Nuke, right? But in any 3D software, like in this case Maya, we have this Maya software right here. Now if I take this plane right here, and if I go to Photoshop for making that same image and go to File, New, and we have this one, Create, and you can create this, save it into not TIFF format, we need PNG format, and here we have this PNG format, save it, and we need alpha also. So here we can put white color, here I can put black color. So this is a thing that you can have. So this is a PNG file format. So this is A for alpha, save. So we have two things, that is PNG and PNG alpha, okay? So if I go to this one and go to V-Ray, and we can have, this is a normal material and diffuse, click on this, go to File and choose this PNG format. Now you can see we have same thing, that white thing is coming up, right? And if I make it like this, okay, and press 6 key from the keyboard, so you can see that, and you can make something like this and go to this UV and automatic. Now you can see the same thing we are having. It is not getting cut. So in opacity map, what we need to have, that alpha, so which is this one, alpha, which is okay. Okay, so now you can see if I render this, now you can see we have something like that, right? So we need to render this out. So first of all, we need to go to, this is a PNG file format, and we can have HD, and here we can come to this V-Ray, make it bucket, and just render it. Right click and perspective. Now it is rendered. Now the rendered, I have got it inside this project file, and here we can come here. So this is a thing, and if I drag and drop that, and you can see this file has come to Nuke from Maya, rendered inside V-Ray. So now you can see we have the alpha channel, and we can see that there is no white problem. The white problem is not happening, and you can come here, make this full HD, because of both the image should match. Select it, press M key, and you can see exactly transparent. That means this is pre-multiplied. Safe transparency is done before I have imported it here. So now this PNG has come from Maya. Still we don't have any kind of like white problem. That means is what? That safe transparency is happened beforehand. So if you are taking any image that is safe transparent beforehand, while importing inside this Nuke, then there is no pre-mult option is needed. But if I drag the same image, and if I put it right here, you can see we are getting that the white problem. Why? Because this is not like pre-multiplied, or the save transparency option is not saved inside this PNG format. So that is why we have to pre-mult it to make the calculation and make this thing transparent. So this is a bonus kind of part that I have involved Maya in this clip, so that you can understand also from the Maya or any kind of 3D packages you are using, the same thing is happening inside Nuke. If you think that pre-multiplication is a new thing inside Nuke, so this is not true. So if I show you the same thing inside After Effects, then you can see that if I have a new layer called alpha, so if I control and click here to get the selection and put white color in it, so we have this alpha, and now we can deselect it and save this thing into TIFF file format and save the alpha here, and we can go to desktop, save it, and I'm not going to save the transparency right now. Choose OK. And if I open After Effects and open the same image, now you can see it is asking me pre-multiplied matte with color. So this is also asking that which thing you want. If I make it ignore, that means this is alpha. See, if I make it ignore, that means ignore. That means you can see drag and drop. The same thing we are getting, the white thing. But if I right click on this and go for interpret footage main, and here we can see, you can tell this is pre-mult, then you can see this is transparent. So same thing is happening inside this. So this is not a new thing. So pre-multiplication, you can do this thing in Nuke, and in After Effects also, this is also important thing. So hope you have liked this After Effects demonstration to make you understand what is pre-multiplication is all about. If you start Nuke first time, that is what I'm going to do right now. So click on this, so you will get to see something like this. So this is the first glance of your Nuke interface. So now the Nuke interface is extremely scary and daunting in the first time you see it, but it is extremely handy and extremely easy to use. Now you can see that I have file, edit, workspace, viewer, render, and cache, help. These all are menus, right? And here you can see we have toolbars. Lots of tools you can get from this area. If I click on this, you will get to see a lots of tools is there, but slowly you'll be knowing these tools. And then only you can understand the power of Nuke, why this is so much important nowadays. Now you can see here lots of windows or panels. Like you can see here we have a viewer 1, and if you have here node graph, here we have this curve editor, dope shade, and here we have this properties, background renders, and lots of things here and there. So these all are tabs or panels, but the main thing is this, that you have 3 panels extremely important for you. That means is what? That viewer, node graph, and your properties. These 3 things, these 3 panels is extremely important, like essential panels or tabs inside Nuke. That means is what? It is not like that these panels or tabs is not important, but viewer, node graph, and properties, without these 3 panels or tabs, you cannot do anything inside Nuke. So that is why I am saying to you that these things is essential. Now this is the by default interface, user interface, or UI in short, of Nuke. Now what is workspace? Workspace, you can see we have a workspace menu. Workspace menu is extremely important. User interface is going to be same in anywhere for any artist, because of this user interface is going to be created by the company itself. But the workspace can be different artist to artist or studio to studio. What to do to get your customized workspace that you feel comfortable working with that environment, that is extremely important to feel comfortable. It is not like that what I am doing, you have to do the same thing. But you should understand my thought process, because it is extremely important that how I am thinking, and the same way it should resonate with your thoughts also. Because everything you do or I do, we do it by brain. So that is why I am saying that the thought process is extremely important. Now you can see here we have some workspace in Nuke. So if I click on this, you can see that we have this compositing workspace. If I click on this, you can see this is as it is. That means is what? That we are in compositing workspace. Alright? And if I go to change this large node graph, that means is what? This is a new workspace for studio or individual artist. Here we have seen that the node graph is bigger and the properties panel and your viewer is smaller. So if I have this animation, so animation related panels or tabs is there for you. So this is known as workspace, but this is not your workspace, it is preset. right? You may not like it, you may like it. How I work, this is something different. So first of all, go to compositing. This is a by default workspace for Nuke. Now, first thing I need to tell you that we do have two different things here. You can see that we have a viewer, but if I click on this X or this cross mark, which tells you that close tab, that means is what? That means is this viewer is a tab. See, if I put it here, you can see also close tab. So if I click on this, the viewer is closed. That means the viewer, the node graph, car weighter, dope sheet properties, so on and so forth, everything is a tab. But if I click on this, I can see a different kind of options. So you can see here close tab, that means every tab is going to be closed. So you can click here also to delete your tabs. Not delete, like to close your tabs. So in this case, I am closing all the tabs I don't need. It is not that every tabs I need all the time. So you can see that this section, this area or this area also, this is what? A pen or panel. If I click on this, you can see close pen. Or if I click on this, same thing is there, right? Cool. So if I click on this and click on this close pen, pen means is like close panel. If I click on that, the panel is closed now. The same thing for this. The panel is going to be closed. Here also, I can close this. Now we can see that we have only tools or toolbar. But here we don't have that icon that I can close this pen to or this panel to. So this is a hidden kind of thing inside Nuke. If I go and put the cursor in that line, I can see an orange line is appeared and we have these icon again. So I can click on this and I can delete these pen also. So if I click on this pen, nothing is there, everything is closed. How to get it back? Simple, workspace, reset workspace. So you have this brand new by default settings of your workspace. So if I click to this close pen will automatically close your all the tabs you have in that particular pen. So this is how you can close. And so now here I am not going to close the pen, instead I am going to close the tab so that I can have these icons to work with. So what I need to have horizontal split or division, like left to right. So here I can see a vertical and horizontal. The icon is saying you how it is going to be, up and down, left and right? So here what you can do is to click on this horizontal. So that means this is vertical, but the pen or the panel divided into horizontal basis. Left panel, right panel. Same thing if I go for this horizontal, I have 3 panel. I have told you that 3 things is needed. First is going to be the tools. Tools you can get in Windows. In Windows, not only tools, you will get every tab you have inside Nuke, right? Now, if I go to this toolbar, click here, we have these tools. And I need to show tab. I can make it off so we can see the same thing we can also make to hide the tab. So here I can put it right there. I need to have here new viewer. So go for this new comp viewer. Here it is. And now it is in float format. It is not docked automatically here. What you can do, just drag it and drop it right here. You can see a orange broken dotted line or border, and release your mouse there. Your viewer is exactly situated there. And here we can have node graph. And here we have a viewer. Automatically you'll get this if you have this viewer. Now, where is my properties panel? So if I take anything, suppose a blur node, here, I am not telling you how to use this blur right now. Just take any node to make you understand why there is no properties bin or a properties panel. So double click on this to get that property. If you do any changes, do it and close it. So always I don't need any properties panel, right? If it is not selected, I don't need that. So that is optional. It can be float, right? So viewer, I need always. Node graph, I need to work with this environment all the time. So these two things is extremely important, right? But the properties bin can be optional. Double click on this, do the job here and close it. Simple. Select it and delete it. It will be deleted. Now, what is this? Viewer 1. If I delete this, your viewer is going to be deleted. How to get it back? Click here and go for this Windows. You'll have this new comp viewer. Click on this and you'll have this one. So if I delete it once again, we have a viewer here, right? So if I press one key, I will get it back. This is a shortcut to get your viewer back if you delete it unknownly, right? So viewer can be very easy to get by pressing one key from your keyboard. All right then. So this is the way I use the workspace so that I have more room to work with, more space to play with. So in this section, you have learned how you are going to tackle to get your custom workspace placed in that area, which area you want it to be, right? So this is how you can do it very easily inside Nuke. Now, another thing is this. If I close this, and it is going to be gone. Why? Because of, if I go to workspace and see, this is a compositing. Compositing means is what? That it is by default. Whenever you are going to open your Nuke, this compositing is going to be opened because of this workspace is not saved. To save this workspace, as well as whenever you are going to open Nuke, this workspace should be the same. That is why you have to save compositing here. It means this is default. So if I save this, this is going to be saved right here. So save this, and yes, I need that, and choose OK, and close this, and no, I don't need to save it, and close this also. This is a window that comes with Nuke, and if I go for this Nuke again, now Nuke is getting started, and I am pressing no because of it is asking me that you have not saved it. So do you want to save that? So this, I don't want to save that because of I had done nothing there, right? So no, I don't need to save it. Accidentally, if you forgot to save, that is what you can get it back by that option. Now you can see that I have saved it, as well as this is right now the by default settings of Nuke. Anytime if you open it, it is going to be the same because of I have saved it in the by default section. So this is how you can customize your workspace easily inside Nuke. So in this section, I am going to tell you that how you can import images and footages inside your Nuke script. What do you mean by Nuke script? Nuke script is a name. Whatever you are doing with Nuke, that is known as Nuke script, and it has no relation with any kind of scripting or programming language. So Nuke script is going to be your Nuke file only. So first thing first is the menu we have here. This is image, and in this image, if I click on this, you have this read node. What do you mean by node? Whatever you have inside Nuke, that is called nodes. That means is what? That if you are using this read, write, profile, constant, checkerboard, anything, that means this is going to be called as node. So here we have this read node and read node to get your file from your drive. If I click on this read, I can see that I have my C, D, E, and F drive, but I don't have here my desktop. But the problem is my files is in desktop. So what to do to get the desktop right here? So you have seen the home button. If I click on this, I can see a desktop. Or if you cannot find it here, just put D for desktop. You'll get desktop. Means everything starts with D. It is going to be shown in this list. Cool. Now if I click on this, I have this desktop URL or link. I am in this import folder, which is exactly situated in my desktop. So if I click on this, I have seen that I have some JPGs images. So I can show you that thing right here. So this is a JPG image and downloaded from internet. So I can select one and choose open to open a single file. And when it is opened, they can see we have a window that is called properties, the essential window. Now we have seen that we have this file, and this file means the path from where this file is come from. So I can see if the path is there, that means so it has come from this path. So you can close this if I don't need this properties panel. So this is how you can import read file inside Nuke. Now this is the one way of doing it. Another way we have here, that is right click on node graph. So if I right click on this node graph, you can see a long list, and this long list is everything you see from menu to tools you'll get here. So if I go to this image, and you can see exactly the same thing here. This is an image. So right click and go for image, and you have this read node, and same thing is happening here. The same window is coming up. So this is another way of doing it. So right click on this, I can select R key also. So how you can make R key, you can see that if I click on it, you can see we have R button. That means is what? the R is a shortcut of read node. Whichever is going to be the shortcut which is going to be listed right beside of the options you will be having here. So now if I press R key from the keyboard, the same window is also coming. You can see. But now I have told you that if I go to home and then after I have to go for this desktop. But having this address right here, if I press plus button, I can see a favorite folder has come up. So now you can choose OK for this image browser and you can press OK so that I can have a shortcut, so I don't need to go to home and then click on desktop. I can go to directly inside desktop. So this is how you can make a shortcut of any kind of drive you have inside your system. So close this. So this is the way you can create the shortcut of desktop inside read node. Another way we have, which is also extremely handy, that is going to be drag and drop. So here we have these images, and if I select every image you have here and simple drag and drop it inside this node graph, every bit of images is going to come and can see these images right here. So this is also a very useful feature inside Nuke, that you can easily drag and drop your images right here. So to view these images, if I click this and put it right here, you can see that we have these images like so. Or else, if I select this one, press 1 key, you can see by pressing 1 key, selecting the read node, I can easily view the images in the viewer. This is how you can import images inside Nuke. Now if I delete everything here and if I press R key and if I go for this import and select every images you have here and if I choose open, now you can see something is different. We have properties panel. That means is what? That if I press R key or this read option, so I'll be getting the properties along with these images. If I simply go here and drag and drop these things right here, now see there is no properties panel is coming up. So this is the slight difference you'll be having if I press R key and if I select anything, the properties is gonna come. Or by dragging and dropping, there is no properties panel is gonna come. Totally up to your choice, there is no difference. But the problem is, the issue is going to be if you are dealing with 50 images and if you got these 50 images right like this way, imagine 50 properties panel is gonna come. So you need to close this manually. So this is gonna be a lot of work. So my preferred way of doing it, just go to your folder and drag and drop it right here. And if you need to have properties, so simple double click on it. This is gonna be there for you. So this is how you can import properly inside Nuke. And another thing is extremely also important, that you see that here we have frames. Alright. So if I don't take these things and drag and drop, instead of if I have these in folder, if I drag it and drop it right here, now you can see only one image has come, but it is not a one image. It is like every images you have here. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I zoom this by scrolling, so here we can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means right now this images is act like a footage or a sequence file, because of this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that way. So if you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this kind of renamed of your images, so then this is gonna come like this if you drag the folder into this. But if I don't drag the folder, if I just drag and drop these images, so there is no one file, there is lot like every file you have here. So dragging and dropping is also a bit different inside 𝐂𝐿. So while dragging a single image or bunch of image, there is no problem. But if you import or drag and drop this full folder, it is gonna be act like a footage. You can see right here. So this is also totally up to you that what you want exactly inside 𝐂𝐿. And if you are using footage, so for drag and drop the folder will be the proper way. But if you are using images, so drag and drop images, then it will be appropriate method of doing so. So you know the difference between how you can import your footages or images inside 𝐂𝐿, and this is how you can do it easily. And now you know each and everything about how you can import images or footages inside 𝐂𝐿. Another thing I would like to show you, I can delete everything I have here, and if I minimize it, I have this footage folder. Here we have real footage like lens distortion, and lens distortion is just a name. And you can see we have a footage and it has 000, 001, 002, 003. So if I copy the link right here and put it, press R key, and if I paste it here, if I go for this footage, this is also you can go and search for a particular folder, and you can see we have this lens distortion .##.jpg 0 to 132. But if I go for the same thing, if I double click, select this, copy the link or the address, if I press R key and paste it right here, go for import, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, everything is different. 1 is different, 2 is different, everything is different, right? Though we have selected sequence right here, it is automatically selected. But if I go for this one, this footage, now you can see this is not lens distortion 0001, lens distortion 0002. It's not like that. Why it is happening like this way? Because of the footage has 000. This is called frame padding. Frame padding is there for real footages. So the thing, this is not a footage, this is a sequence, and this is a footage. That is why this ### triple hash is going to act like padding. So if I choose make it off, I can see 000, 001, 002, like a JPG images, not a sequence. It is now acting like normal images, not a sequence. If I click on this, then only it is acting like it is a sequence, but still it is not happening in this import this images, though I have selected this, because of there is no 0001, 0002, because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is the name. It is a name of the particular files. But if I go for this footage, lens distortion is the name. And then 000001, it is going to be the frame padding. Then only the read node or 𝐂𝐿 can understand this is a real footage, not image. So this is how you can also import the footage inside 𝐂𝐿 and play this, and in middle mouse click on it and play this right here. So this is how you can import footages also, a real footage, and you can import a sequence also. So now you know what is the deal. Now you know what is the deal to import footages and images. What is this necessary steps you need to take to import any footage or any image, and what is the shortcuts, what is the shortcuts you have here to get your image or footage inside 𝐂𝐿. And this is the full knowledge you have got how to import anything inside 𝐂𝐿. Now one thing, lastly, you should not import video file inside 𝐂𝐿, because of we will be having only sequence, only images inside 𝐂𝐿. Hope you have liked it and you have understood every aspects of how you can import anything inside 𝐂𝐿. So in this lesson, we're going to learn that what is project settings inside 𝐂𝐿. Now, if I go to this edit button, and here we have this project settings, and click on this, we'll have this properties, and this is called project settings right here. Now this is a root section we are in. Now see that I have showed you what is project directory and how you can use this script directory also. And if I scroll it down, you can see we have some options right here. Now we have frame range here, that is from 1 to 100. That means is what? That we can see that we have this 1 to 20 and 100. This is the frames we are having here. So if I change this into 500, we can see that we have changed our time range. So this is how you can increase or decrease your frames from project settings. In this case, I am going to make it 100. The next topic is going to be the FPS, which is 24 in this case, and you can change as you like to do it by the footage or by your video. Now here we have this full size format. Full size format is what? That you can see here 2K Super 32 full app. The same thing is there, 2K Super 32 full app, and 2040 and 1556. So this is called format. So you can see here we have, this is the format or resolution we are in, and this is going to be your viewer, and this one is going to be a work area. So you can think this is like a page of Photoshop. So if I click on this, you can see we have a long list. If I put it right here and put it like this, now you can see a long list of your images, width and height and proportion, like a page kind of thing you'll be having here. Now we can see we do have this HD. If I put it HD, you can see we have this HD resolution. The same thing if you go for this HD 720, we have the same thing here. So this is how you can have this this format, full size format, and this is the root format, and this is going to be followed by this section. All right, now see we have this square 2K, and this is 2040 2048. And after that we have this new, and between that we don't have anything, right? So if I import any image, so I have this image, drag and drop into a node graph, and you can see that I have a blank area here, and here you can see 300 into 168. That means that if I put this, if I connect it, you can see that 360/168, that means the resolution of this image is automatically has come here. So this is a very nice feature of Nuke, that you don't need to create any new one for this, because of this is not listed here. So it is listed automatically right here without any name, of course. So whatever you have in the input, or you have image right here, this is gonna come in this list. So if I disconnect it, you can see this is now again this root format. So if I change this root format from 720 to this new one, so now you can see the root format is changed into this format. So if I connect it or disconnect it, it is going to be remain same. And this is what you need to do inside Nuke. Whenever you are importing any image or footage, you need to know the format, and that format automatically will be listed right here, and you need to click this one to get your root of that source file. So this is the main thing of full size format. Now if we have this new, we can create new one. So if I type here this Anna, and here we can 1920, and this is going to be 817, and we can see we have a new kind of format. You can see new format. So Anna means anamorphic, so we have this aspect ratio, that is 2:35, and here this section is not at all a simple field that you can put some numbers here. This is a calculator, you can say. So if I want to plus something, so you can see I can have the plus, and the answer is right here. So I need to increase or decrease, maybe plus again and 6. I can see we have something like that. And if I press minus and 12, you can see we have the same thing right here. So if you need to change or add anything you don't know, so you don't need to go to external calculator and do the stuff. You can do it here itself. So this is also a very super feature inside Nuke. So choose OK. You can see that our root format is 1920.817, and which is ANA. ANA means anamorphic. So I'll tell you later what is anamorphic. And if I put it out, you can see we have this ANA, and I can change this by this edit button, and you can put this A, and then only you have to make it OK, and just we have to have an update. So now you can see we can change the name also. And to delete these things, how you can delete that? See. So you are in this, so you have to delete it first. So now we can see this is gone, the name is gone, but this is active now. So you have to go to anywhere else, but not that. Still it is exist because we have a memory kind of cache thing is going on inside Nuke, so it is there. So for that, what you need to do, close this, save it into desktop. So this is gonna be like test, and enter. And if I double click on this and go to edit, and here we have this project settings. Now you can see that we don't have that ANA or 1920 and 817. For deleting these things, you need to restart Nuke. So now you know everything about this full size format. Now moving on this proxy mode, which is extremely easy. Now if I have this connected, I can see that if I zoom this, so this is the thing we have here. But suppose this is only one image we have here, but you are suppose using 100 of images, so automatically for playback, if I play this, so it's playing right now, so nothing is there to play. This is a single image, not a footage. But for playing this thing, it's taking a huge time, or maybe for the rendering purpose, for the picture to be appeared right here, it will take a long time to produce an image. So this is when you have to use this proxy mode, which you can find right here. If I click on this, so now you can see this is also clicked. If I say this, so you can keep the eye here. So if I click on this and this, you can see you have changing this. So same thing is this. So you can use this. So you can see what is happening by this. Now if I zoom this, now see the pixel is getting reduced if I click on this, but for temporarily, not finally, but yeah, or permanently, only for this preview and faster preview purpose. So if you have a less pixels, the faster preview you are going to get. So if I take a full HD image like this and put it right here and go to settings, and don't forget to change it to HD, that is fine. Now you can have this, which has very nice looking resolution. And how you know that this is right or this is right, what is the appropriate viewing thing? So this, you can see we have this 100%, this is right. And here, now click on this, and I can see you cannot see that thing now. You now can see that. So this is very small, so that is why you can see this thing clearly. And if I go for this project settings right here, and now we have proxy mode, which is set to scale. Scale means you can see the beneath option is proxy scale. Proxy scale is going to be 0.5, that means half. That means is what, that if I select this one, and you can see this is 1960, but we are in 1920 and 960 and 1920. If I go for the calculator, and this is going to be 9, 10, 20, and divided by 2, and what is going to be the answer? 960. That means, see, we have 960 and 540, 5 and 40. So that means is what this one is now reduced into half of scale value. So this is why if you play this or do something for rendering purpose, it's gonna be very faster for feedback. So proxy mode is extremely handy when you have a lots of effects and lots of nodes inside Nuke. Then you have to use this one. Otherwise, it will take a really huge time to render a single image also. So if I change this, if I select this one, you can see clearly, because of this one is very small image, so that you can see the pixel properly. So you can see this is changing, is happening. But if I decrease this, so this is 0.3, the more less this is gonna be, the more pixelate is going to be. So see, this pixelate is happening like in front of your eyes. So this is how you can manage that, how much you want to have some proxy. Suppose you are using 4K image. 4K means is a huge image, right? So that point of time 0.5 is not gonna work. So then you need to make it very less according to your system or your choice. So this is how the proxy scale and proxy mode is going to be used in Nuke. So this section is, I hope this is clear to you and why this is so much important. In this lecture, you are going to learn that how you are going to save your Nuke file or Nuke script. So now first thing, I'm going to import these images inside Nuke. And now see that I have imported these, and we can see that I have drag and dropped the folder, not the images. I have dragged and dropped the folder into Nuke node graph. Still, I am getting all the images instead of single image and having a sequence. So why this is happening? Because if I go into this folder, you can see that I don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Instead, I have some names, some words in it. So if you are using any images which doesn't have any kind of sequential numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of thing, so then if you import the folder, and this is what a difference between a sequence or individual files. So if I select this and press L key, now you can see everything is in order. So if I have something like this and select this and press L key, so you'll get this is arranged in a horizontal way. So this is what I need, because you are not going to do like this manual alignment. If I select it, press L key, it will be aligned, arranged automatically for you. So now one thing is this, that scroll is for zoom in, zoom out, and if something is going out of the focus, you can see a small window is there, and if I click on this, single click will give you this. Or if I have here, if I middle click on it, I'll get the same thing. This is also one kind of shortcut. So now you can have the navigation inside Nuke graph. This is how you can locate your file where it is. Now moving on here, that how I'm going to save this. So first of all, if I double click on this, I can see I have this properties panel of this read node, and I have this files mains path. So we have this path right here, and I can easily save this. So save comp, and here I can go for desktop, go to import, and here we can save this, and this is gonna be intro. and save it. And before saving it, so you can see we have this nuke extension that is .nk, so you don't need to put it here. Just put your name there and save it and close this, and you can see that in this folder I have intro. And if I double click on this, and we can see that everything is working just fine, everything is as it is, but the problem will come if I transfer my local drive location. So if I cut this and paste it in a different drive right here, and if I want to open this, now you can see what will happen, that I am getting errors. And if I put like that and connect it to the viewer, I can see I am getting a red danger error. And why this is happening, first of all, you should know that this is happening because of this file path. That means the path is totally changed, but here the path is not changed. So you can do one thing, you can click here and you can manually get all these things. But the problem is, if you are using 50 images, then 50 times you need to do that. Right now I'm using this 5 images. That's not a big deal, but in real life or real situation, you are going to use more than 5 images, right? So this is not a proper solution for that. Now, how you are going to get it right? First thing, you need to go to edit menu, and here you can see project settings, and the shortcut is going to be S. Now, I need to tell you about the shortcut. So if I press S key, I can see that I have got this project settings. Close it, go to edit, click here, same thing is happening. But the problem is this, the shortcut is based on your Windows or your panel. So if I press here, if I have the cursor is extremely important here. If I have the cursor in node graph, if I press S key, I get this. But if I have the cursor here in the viewer, press S key, I'll get this properties of viewer. That means is what, that your cursor location is extremely important when you are going to deal with shortcuts. So here, put the cursor here, press S key, you will get this project settings. Now here you can see, if I you can make it big if you want to. Now here you can see we have a option called project directory, and if I click on the script directory, automatically we have something here. There is a nuke script, a Python nuke script is there, which is created automatically by clicking this icon here. So this is the first step you need to do. First step. Second is going to be that here, this is the address I have here, which is not exist right now because the address is changed. So I can select it and delete this, and now can see I have got my image back. So if you do it, it will be a manual process for 50 or 100 images, and it will be very time taking job, right? So in this case, what you can do, easy fix. I have found that if I double click on this, and you can see the address is same, like user Arijit Datta, desktop, and import. Same thing right here. That means is what, if I copy including the slash, copy this, or right click, you can make a copy and select everything you have here, go to edit and go for this node and go to file name. Here we have this search and replace. The shortcut key is going to be Control Shift and slash. The question mark and slash is in same button. So click on this, or you can make Control Shift and slash, you'll get the same thing. So now it is search and replace. That means is what? I am going to search for the address which I am going to replace with delete. Very intelligent approach I need to take right here. And if I choose OK, now that means is what? Everything is gone by the delete, because of everything is replaced with delete. So this is how you can fix the problem, fix the issue inside Nuke if you have a missing file problem later in your comp. So now if I save this and save it, yes, and you have this this one, so cut it right from here and put it right here. Then I can double click on it, double click on this, and now see I have changed the the path, but you can see from like E drive I have put it in desktop, but still I have my read node intact and there is no missing file issue is coming right now. And this is a two-way process. So first is edit and settings and click on this one, and another one is going to delete the address, and you have to be here alone with the name of that particular file and .jpg, png, whatever extension you will be having right there, right? So this is how we can make this happen extremely easily inside Nuke. So if I take this import folder and can give it to you, and if you open in your system, you can see there is not going to be any kind of error message at all. So this is how you can get your file home to office, office to home. You can transfer your files from machine to another machine. There is no problem by this technique. So now another situation may come. So if I close this and now see if I have another folder called elements, and now I can select every images and put it there. Now this is wrong. This is extremely wrong. You cannot do that. The folder structure should be created before you import your elements or images or footages. That means is what? That you cannot do this. Means after importing, you cannot do that. But if I double click on this, of course, the address is now changed. So how you can get rid of this kind of issue? You can see we have a problem because of the problem is necessary. It has to be there some problem because the address is changed. If I go for rename and copy this one and double click on this, and before our name, if I paste it and put a slash, I can get that back. What does this mean? Because slash, what does the slash means? Slash means inside, and elements is a folder. So inside the folder of element, you have this best.jpg. That means you have to put this manually everywhere to get your images back. There is no shortcut you can do. There is no shortcut you can do because you don't have the proper path. So while making this kind of thing, first of all, you have to have the element folder. Then what you can do, delete this and import this element folder, drag and drop right here, select it, press L key and double click on it, and now just copy this because I need this element folder and slash. Right click and copy this and select all of them, Control Shift and slash, paste Control V and delete and OK. So now you can see we have this element folder intact along with this slash. So everywhere, so this is the right process of doing so. So if you are using any kind of images, footages, anything you want to use, first of all, you have to have the folder structure ready, and then after you can drag and drop right there. Now, another situation is going to be that if I have a folder here and put it right here, another folder here, put it like this. So let me show you everything that you should know. So now if I have got the 5 folders and I have element folder, and I can delete everything I have here and drag and drop this folder right here. Now you can see we have some problem. So that means is what? A folder. Inside that folder, if you have a folder, you cannot drag and drop it. The file has to be in that folder, and that folder you can drag and drop. So it is gonna work, because the means is what? Why it is not happening? 𝐓 is not going to import your folder. If I double click on this, I have what? New folder 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I drag and drop this, so what should happen? 𝐓 should import new folder 2, new folder 3. This is not gonna work. That means is what? New folder cannot be understood by 𝐓. So that is why if I drag these and drag and drop it right here, then it is understood, then it understands that what I am going to get. That means inside of it I have the single image or any kind of file which supports 𝐓. So this also you have to keep in mind, that if you are thinking that I have lots of folder, and in that folder I have lots of folder and folder, so it is not a good solution. Then you have to have drag and drop this individual folder into your 𝐓 script. And this is how, if I show you that this is how you can get rid of, see, if I put it right there, press L key, now you can see the element folder. So in that element folder I need to copy this and select and put it here, delete, okay, everything is working just fine. Element folder, in that folder we have this new folder. That means is what? That you need to understand that element folder will be a common a folder which is there. New folder 2, it is a different thing, but the element folder is a common thing. So 𝐓 is going to search for new folder, the element folder, and then after it is search for new folder. So that is what it is. And how it is searching? By this 𝐂 script, 𝐂 Python script. So this is extremely important. Other than that, you cannot have this kind of solution. Hope you have liked it. Now you understood the in and out, that how we are going to save it without having any kind of error problem inside 𝐂 script. In this lesson, you're going to learn that how you are going to work with viewer. Now you can see that I have an image right here, and that image is connected with viewer. If I delete the viewer, you can see the viewer is deleted from this panel. Select this and press 1 key to get it back. So this is how, if you accidentally delete your viewer, you can get it back by pressing 1. Now, the first thing is this section I have here. All the options you'll be getting for the viewer right here. If I put the mouse right here, you can see a bar appear. And if I click here and drag it, you can see we'll be having more options. So that means is what? this window is also based on your resolution, monitor resolution. So if I put it like this, you can see lots of options are gone now. That means is they are hidden. So keep in mind that to explore everything here, you need to expand your viewer. Now, the navigation is extremely important inside viewer. So if I see we have this black area, if I go to scroll out, I can see we have an infinite black area. So this area is going to be a work area, and this is going to be your actual viewer. That means is what, that you can view your image in this area, in this section. For the navigation, you have that scroll to zoom out and scroll again to zoom in. And this zoom in and zoom out is very, very intelligent inside Nuke. Why? Let me tell you that this is based on the cursor, mouse pointer or mouse cursor. You can see that if I have this cloud and if I put my mouse right here and scroll, I can see this area is getting bigger and bigger. So that means is what, based on my cursor or mouse pointer, I can zoom in or out any point I want. So this is the very easy way to do it. Another thing is this, that I can press plus key from the keyboard to zoom in and minus key from the keyboard to zoom out. So you can see that if I have, it is very far away and I need to fit this here. So if I press F key, I can see I can fit it right there. Or else I can press or click middle mouse from my mouse. So F key and middle mouse both are same. So here middle mouse, so same thing is happening if I press F, right? Another way of doing this thing is this, that we can see we have here a black area. The black area we can see we have here and in this section also. If I press H key, so you can see this is filled up with my image, and this operation is known as fill, or you can say fit to width or fit to height, but for shortcut to make you understand, this is fill, that you can fill those gaps by your image. So this is the very easy way you can find or navigate inside these viewer. Alright. Another way of zoom in and zoom out is going to be left click and middle mouse and drag. Left click and middle mouse and drag. This is the way you can also use this zoom in and zoom out operation. So the same thing you will get in this section. You can see 33.3. If I click on this, you can see we have a long list, and which is going to tell you the same thing I have showed you right now. Zoom in is plus, zoom out is going to be minus, fit, that is F, and here we have this fit width and height, that means it's going to be fill, and this is going to be the percentage of your zoom level, and here we have 900, but it doesn't mean that you cannot reach beyond of 900. If you have 900 right here, if I scroll it, it will go infinite. See? So if it is 11, that doesn't mean you cannot go farther than that. So this is how you can also zoom in and zoom out by these shortcuts. But one thing is this 100% is very, very important. And the shortcut is going to be Control 1. And this is 100% pixel you can see right here. And this is going to be your final image to be rendered. That means is what? If you are in zoom out state or if you are zoom in state, that doesn't matter at all. Your image is going to be rendered in 100% always. So this one you need to understand that always check each and every render in 100% because that is what is going to be rendered. Now in this lecture you have learned that how zoom and navigation is going to be functional inside viewer of Nuke. Hope you have liked it. Thanks a lot for watching. In this lecture I am going to teach you that what is channels. Now you know that channels means if I go to Photoshop, so you can see we have channels and we have seen this red, green and blue channel. So this is what we can find right inside Nuke, that we have this red, green, blue section. And if I click on this button, you can see a long list of channels. The first thing you can see this is the red channel. If I click on this, you can see the red information of that channel in that image. So the same thing we can see here, we have green channel, we have blue channel. This is what we get exactly inside Photoshop. Red channel, green channel and blue channel. And here we can see that we have alpha also. But if I click on this alpha, we cannot see any alpha channel. Why you can't see any alpha channel? Because alpha channel is not at all supported by all the images. So if I zoom this one, you can see .jpg. JPG is not at all alpha supported file format. So if you have to have alpha channel, then you have to have a file format which is supported by alpha channel. In that case, if you want to have alpha channel, if I have a lasso tool here, I can select a certain area of this image. And you can press Ctrl, Shift and I to inverse the selection. Double click on this lock to open this one and you can delete this. And you can deselect this. So this is how we can cut images inside Photoshop. And now if I save this, so go for this save as button, and now you can see if I go to desktop, and you can see we have this PNG file format. In this PNG file format, I need to save it. So save this image, choose OK. Now this file is saved into PNG format. That means is what? We'll be not having that area and we'll be having a transparency channel. So if I import that thing, so drag and drop that into Nuke, we have this one, and this white area is known as alpha channel. So if I go to this alpha channel, so I can see this mark right here. So that means is what? That if you have to have alpha channel, you have to change the image format, the format you need to take which supports alpha channel. So in this case, PNG format is capable of storing alpha channel. Then only you can see this A means alpha in this viewport. Now here, if I go for red, green and blue and come here in luminance, that means is what? If I put it here, you can see the black and white. That means is what? This is a grayscale image, you can see. This is totally a grayscale image, a luminance value of that image. So this is what you can see by this luminance channel. And after that you have this matte overlay. The matte overlay is going to be your alpha channel, which is going to be indicated by this pink fill. And if I go to Photoshop, you can see if I undo this and I have selected this one, if I press Q from the keyboard, I can see the same thing is happening right here. A pinkish reddish color is filled up with this area. That means is what that we are seeing that alpha channel, which is known as quick mask inside Photoshop. The same thing is also there inside Nuke, and here we have this matte overlay. The name changes, the characteristics and the functionality is going to be the same. So this is how you can understand that we have alpha channel in this image. Now this is how you can use, or you know what this means. Now about the shortcut, I'm going to tell you that red is R for red, so I can put it right here. Red is means R. So if I press R key from the keyboard, I can get red channel, and if I press R again, I'll get RGB. So R and R, R and R. This is how you can, shift RGB to red, red to RGB. Same as green. If I in green channel and press G key, I'll go back to red, green and blue. And again, if I press G key, I can go to this green channel. So same for B also. So B, 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 B. This is how you can, go from red, green, blue to blue and blue to red, green, blue. This is how you can change your channel settings. And if I press Y key, you can see the luminance. If I press M key, you'll get to see the matte overlay. So you can see this is matte overlay M. You can see this matte overlay has no effect in JPG file format. That's because of there is no matte overlay, because there is no matte means there is no alpha. So you have to have alpha if you need to check do you have matte overlay or not. And for alpha you need to check, you need to press A key from the keyboard to see the alpha is there or not, and press A key again, then you can go to this red, green, blue channel. So this is how you can work with this red, green, blue, alpha, luminance and matte overlay channel. So now you know that how you can deal with channels. Hope you have liked it. Thanks a lot for watching. In this lecture, we're going to learn auxiliary channel inside Nuke. Now I have told you that how you're going to use these channels, and these channels are extremely common. Now I'm going to talk about auxiliary channel inside Nuke. So now we can see RGBA. This section is going to be called as channels, or you can say for a beginner's auxiliary channel, or you can say special channels. But to make you understand properly, this is a layer stack. If I click on this, you can see we have layers. Just get that you will be getting layers if you have layers inside your read node. Simple. Very, very easy to understand. Now, if I go to Photoshop and open this image and double click and choose OK, and if I double click here and choose another image is this, and drag and drop that image right here, now you can see we have two layers, right? Layer 0 and layer 1. Now if I save this, save as, and go to desktop and save it, and if I drag that and drop it inside Nuke right here and put it like this, we can see that we have this layer stack, layer 0 and layer 1, and this is what it is exactly. But if you have channels, or means if you have layers inside your image, you can get those layers right here. Now you can see a few differences we have here. I have JPG image here and I have PSD image right here. But you can see this is red, green and blue, and this is also red, green and blue. So if you have red, green and blue, that means a normal channel you have, but you have this special green mark we have here, but we don't have that. So once you see that some image has this kind of marks or green kind of thing, that means is that this is containing layers. So that means you can go here and search for those layers, and you can click on this and you can get that layer. So now the thing is that PSD file format, it doesn't mean that PSD file format is containing the layers. That means is what? If I have these and if I make this only one, see, now we have only one image, means only one layer, right? But if I save this and go here and double click on this to reload it, so if I click on this area, so it is going to reload because the address is same. So now if I go here, you can see only layer 0, nothing else. But only one layer we are having here, but the layer is there. But right click, if I flatten the image, now if I save this and double click on this and click on that button, now you can see that PSD is there, but there is no that special mark. And now you can see you have blank, means layer 0 is gone. There is no now layer 0. Why? Because actually there is no layer. The layer is locked, means there is no layer. That means is what? Whether maybe it is PSD file format, there is no difference. If you don't have layer, then you cannot have layers here, or neither will be getting that information. So I need to go to RGBA, that means by default one, and this is RGB, or you can say RGB, or RGBA means if you have alpha channel, then you can use this RGBA. But the by default is going to be RGBA, so put it RGBA if you don't have these extra channels. So this is how you can understand that how you are going to use these auxiliary channels or layers inside Nuke. Hope you have liked it. Thanks a lot for watching. So in this clip that I'm going to show you about write node. So if I come to this image option here, and I can see that we have write node, and the shortcut key is going to be W. Click on this, you will get this write node. And this write node is actually using for exporting or saving your image or your sequence, right? But we can do lots of things with this write node, and this node is extremely important aspect of Nuke. So in this course, each and every aspect of this write node is going to be revealed. Now see, we need some image here to export that image. So I can take this image and drag and drop it here and put my write node right here. So I have got this write node. Now what I want to change this image, otherwise this image is going to be saved. So press T key for transform node, and I can make some changes right here. So this is a changes I have done, a very normal change. And this change, I need to save it as a JPG file format. So we have first channel. So red, green, blue channel we have here. It is selected by default, and that's fine for JPG image. So here we have file. If I click on this area, so that means is what this file is for, what that is for saving your image or your sequence, right? So if I click on this area, this button, then you can see that where we need to save our file. This Nuke is asking me that where should I save this file. All right, so in this case I'm going to select desktop, and in your case you can use your drive, local drive. Now this is the address or path you have got. Here I can type that my pic, and then what I have to do, dot jpg. So why dot jpg we have to write? Because of, so you have to write your name first and then dot and your extension. If it is jpg, then you have to write jpg. If it is png, then you have to write png. So whatever your image format is going to be, you have to write it down right here. Now save this, and now you can see some changes we have. See, we have JPG image, and it is written here my pic, and you can see file type is automatically selected JPG file format. Now you can say that why I have to put it manually, because we have this thing, so we can select it from here, right? No, this is first, and based on that this is second. So if I put anything, suppose if I put here PNG, and then I can see PNG is selected right here. So this file type is looking at this file type. So whatever the file type is going to be, if I have TIFF file, TIFF, now can see TIFF. So this is linked with this. So whatever the file type you are going to put here, that is going to be reflected right here. So in this case, JPG is my file type. So this is the file type I have here. So now I can render this. So see, we have this path, desktop, and render, and choose what we can see. We have frame range. Frame range means is what, that this is the frame range we have here. But we have selected input. Input means is what, that this read node we have this input. So that means is what, that in input we have only one. So you can see 1-1. This is not minus, this is hyphen. So 1 to 1, that means only one frame. So you can put it like this, only one. So this is also you can make, or suppose you want to have 50 number frame or 30 number frame or any frame you want, you just put the number like 65. So 65 number frame is going to be rendered. So if I have this here, so right now I can have 65, I can have 90, because this is a single image. So there is no problem of having any kind of number right here. So now I can choose 1 in this case and OK. Now the render is done, and if I go to desktop, you can see the my pic text, my pic image is saved in here. So if I double click on it, you can see my image is saved. So this is how you can easily save or easily export your image sequence or image inside Nuke by using this write node. So in this lesson we are going to learn that how to render sequence file inside this Nuke software. So now the first thing, I need to make an animation for sequence rendering. So I can take transform tool, and I can make it small, and I can put this thing right here, and you can see we have this translate. Right click on this and set key, and this animation I have showed you in this transform lesson, so I'm not going in deeper in it. So I can put this thing right here, right? So we have this animation, and how to render this thing. So from 1 to 20 I have this frame range. So simple, that we have this file and click on this folder, go to desktop and create a new folder. Otherwise your each and every image is going to be in your desktop, which is a messy thing. So this is a render, you can render folder, you can make anything. The name is a render, choose OK, and we have the, here I can make this a bit smaller so you can see it properly. So this is the address we have here where we are going to save our image. And now the first thing that we need to have that my pic, that means my pic or any name, and .jpg, you can here type. So extension you need to type and save it, and we can see automatically we have this this jpg file format here. So if you write anything in here, the format, it is automatically going to be here. And if you can think in that way, that why we have to put it when we have this file format, then I can take it from here. But this is first, this is second. If you put this thing here, then only you'll get this thing, otherwise you can't. So now I can render this out, and from 1 to 20, so I can hyphen and 20. This is not a minus thing, don't get it wrong. This is hyphen, you can say 1 to 20 frames we need to have. And custom means is exactly the same thing. Now 1 to 20 frame we need to render, choose OK. Now we have got an error. Now you can see we have write cannot be executed for multiple frames. That means is what, that multiple frames means from 1 to 20 we cannot render by this technique. So this technique is only for one image, right? So what will be the technique? So see, after that full stop, and keep in mind and listen my words right now carefully, that what I am right now showing to you, that how you can do this thing. After that full stop is here, you can see the full stop or dot you can have here. So you need to type percentage 03D dot. You have to type this one, percentage 03D. What is 3D? 3D means padding. 3 padding you can say, and I'll show you what is padding means. So percentage 03D, and it starts from dot and ends with a dot, right? So if I render it now, then I can see this is getting rendered. And if I come here into render folder, you can see we have this, all the images I have got. But you can see what is frame padding, that dot 001, dot 0032, dot 003, and this 000, 003, 006, this is called padding, frame padding. This is a name, right? So frame padding is this 000. So why 001, 002? Because of we have put here 3. If I put here 5, okay, now see what will happen, and delete this and render it again. Now see, this is happening, and now you can see 00001, 00002 means 50 will be having here, right? So this is called frame padding, and this is called footage. And this is called footage means this is called sequence. And if about the sequence, I have told you in the previous videos also, that how you can differentiate with footage or image. So if you want to render image sequence, then you need to have this thing in your file path, otherwise you cannot. Now another shortcut we have for this, because it's very complicated to remember percentage 05D, really complicated, and for the beginners this is really scary, right? So percentage 05D or 3D or 4D, don't need to write it down. What you need to write it down here, triple hash, shift and 3. So triple hash is 000. So if I render it out and delete this one also, and now I can make the render, and now you can see I have not put percentage 03D or 4D or 5D, nothing is there. What we have got, hash, and then okay. Now see, rendering is happening, and we have got the same thing that we have got previously. Very simple. That means is what, that if I have 5 hash, that means is what? That you are going to have 5 numbers there. So you can see here we have these 5 numbers. So 0001, 0002. So this is how the frame padding works. This is how Nuke will understand that how you are going to render an image sequence. And because how can Nuke will understand that you are exporting an image or you are exporting a sequence file. So this is the difference between it. So if I import it, so see, if I import this one, so drag and drop this render. Now you can see we have this one, right? So if I double click on it, we can see we have this percentage 03D, and double click on this, we can see here percentage 05D. All right. So the thing is that this is the actual coding, or the proper step you can take by this thing. You can see this is the reading process of Nuke, but the triple hash thing is also very easy to understand. That is why I have showed you that you have to use this triple hash, but this is also important step that you should understand beforehand while making this kind of rendering. That we have two things. One is percentage 03D and triple hash, or 5 hash, 4 hash, whatever may be. So this is how you can render a sequence file, right? So hope in this demonstration how to render a sequence file, this is totally clear to you all. And what is frame padding, you have got it. So in this lesson, I'm going to show you that how we are going to use render order inside Nuke write node. Render order means is this. We have seen this one earlier also. Render order, we can see 1, right? So how it works and how you can make it work. So first of all, we need to have 2 renderer, that means 2 write node. So you can press Alt C for copying and pasting, and one I have put it here. In if I connect the viewer, you can see the full image, and another one is small image. So I don't need any kind of animation now, so I can right click and no animation. And now we have a small image and a big image, and I need to render it both of them at the same time. So first of all, I have to save this. So go to this one, and this is small small.jpg, right? Save, and here I come here and put this one desktop, and same thing, this is big, so big.jpg, and save. So same thing we have done. This is big, this is small, because this is connected directly to the read node or the image, and this is connected to the transform, and after the transform it is small now. So how can I render both the thing at the same time? First you need to ask yourself that which one you are going to render first. So I can tell you this is render 1 and this is going to be render 2, means the order. Order means that after 1, 2 is coming, right? So now you can come here in this render, and you can see we have this thing render all write nodes, and the shortcut is 5. So if I click on this, and now we have this frame range, so I don't need any frame range, so make it 1 and choose OK. Now you can see the rendering is done, and if I go to this desktop, so I can see the small image as well as the big image, and you can see the name also, big, small. So this is how, if you have 10 write node, so it is going to be render order 1, render order 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is how you can make this happen. That then you can tell to Nuke that this is first, this is second, this is third, this is fourth, and this is how you can do it by this render all write nodes. So this is also very important and useful feature inside Nuke, that at the same time you can render multiple images, and this is one kind of batch rendering kind of thing. So hope you have got this lesson, that how we are going to render multiple write node at the same time by using render order inside this write node. In this lecture, we're going to find out that how that reformat node is useful inside Nuke. So the reformat. So if I select it, press tab key and press RE, then we can have reformat. So now you can see we have reformat node, and this node is also automatically connected with this root one. So if I go to project settings, and you can see if I change the settings into HD, it is automatically changed. So each and everything is connected with this root. Whenever you have any kind of output format inside your node, it is automatically connected with this root scene, right? So how this is working, and first of all, we have lots of options here, right? But the first and most important option is this resize type. What is resize type? So you can see if I go to Photoshop and if I open the same image right here, so we know that right click on it, we can see we have image size, we have canvas size, two things we have here, right? What is image size? Image size means if I increase this, so the whole image is going to be resized. So like exactly same thing. So if I double click and choose OK, now right click on it and go to resize and make it maybe pixel, maybe 3840. So choose OK. Now you can see this whole image is now big. So you can see there is no empty space here. But if I undo this and if I come to this canvas size and if I make the same thing, that 3840 and we have 2160, I guess, choose OK. Now what happens that the image is the same, but we have much more pixel information, a blank pixel information. This is the same thing, but this is for canvas, this is for image, right? So exactly we have the same thing. This is for canvas size. So if it is width, that means is what, that we are in image. That means this image size. So that means image size means is what, that canvas size and image size automatically will be increased at the same time. But if I make it scale right now, so this is type to format. So in this case we are making it scale. And if I scale this, you can see the changes we have here. So you can make this one like this. Now this is 461259. That means it is small now, but you cannot see this. See, if this one is intact. This is 5000 now, but still this is in this section we have. If it is small, then this is also in this section. That means is what, that canvas size and the image size is automatically increasing, both the thing at the same time. But if I decrease this, okay, or maybe I can make control click to make it by default, and resize type I can make it none. That means is what, I am not going to resize my image, right? So what is going to be resized? Only the canvas size. Okay, see if I make it small or big, you can see that this is my image and this is the blank pixel area. If I go to edit and preference, and the last one we have this viewer handles. Now you can see 2D view. You can make this like so. Make it like this. This is RGB, means white. I have showed you that how like white color is created, red, green, blue, and I don't need. So this is BG color, I can make it black. Now see, we have FG color also, so you can change this thing. So now you can see this is the area is affecting this one. So now you can see this thing in properly, because earlier it was not showing properly. So now this area is the pixel we have. This is the pixel we have here, right? But as you know that transparency is black in this nuke, so you cannot see any kind of checker pattern. So but this is transparent, all right? So now you can increase or decrease. Now you can see the increase or decrease is happening because this is static. Both the thing is not happening at the same time, right? Now you can see that it is doing, but it is happening in the center, and that's because we have this is enabled in center. If I make it off, now you can see it is happening, but it is happening from 0, 0 space like this. So very straightforward. Now we have this flip, means we can flip this, like exactly like if I have this Control T button. So right click, Control T, right click, we can flip this one, we can flip vertically. The same thing we have here, that we have this flip, we have this flop. Flop means like this, flip means vertically, flop means horizontally. Flip flop. And turn, you can see that this is turning. Like turning means is what that you have selected, you have this one, that's image rotation, so you can do this thing. So exactly the same thing. So that is why I'm showing you side by side in Photoshop, that you can exactly relate that how it is not different at all with your Photoshop. So the name is changed, the options is changed, but the characteristics is going to be the same because the anatomy is same, right, for image manipulation. So we can see that turn is this, and we have these options, and now I can have width. So that means is what that type, width, resize type is going to be width, means it is happening at the same time. Height is going to be see. And if I have this fit, everything is going to be same. Fill is also going to be same. So only you will be getting this effect if you have none. Then only we have the changes you can see properly. Otherwise, width, height, fit, fill, everything is going to be happening at the same time. The image and the canvas is going to resize at the same time. That is why this is not, you cannot see that thing that changes, right? So here in this filter, if I make it, everything is right click and make it third option to make it default. Now if I zoom this area, any area you can zoom, but we have this filter. Whenever you think filter means blur, a gentle blurriness filter, cubic. So if I make this one like this, you can see we have more filter, means more blurriness. So why you need this? Why anyone would do that blurriness? Everybody is want to sharpen your images. So why this filter is there? So this is for anti-aliasing purpose. So anti-aliasing is extremely sharp. So if you need to make it, you can see in Mitchell we have to have this cubic. Cubic is much more sharper. You can see that if I come here into Mitchell, you can see the edges is getting affected a bit instead of cubic. So this is very, very harsh. But you can see you have in Mitchell we have very gentle blur inside the the edges, the contrasting points. So this looks fine, right? So for anti-aliasing purpose, you need to use this. Anti-aliasing means how your image is going to be, how sharp your image is going to be, or how blurry your image is going to be. So this is the thing we have here. So anything you can use, basically this is a thing that you should know why this is there, right? And clamping, you know that if something is go beyond of 1, then you have to clamp it. Black outside, and we have this bounding box again. And this bounding box is this, that suppose I have made it big, so I can make this scale and I can make it big with none. So I don't think so it will happen. So here you can see press T key. If I press T key, and I can make it big scale. See, so because transform node is comfortable, that you can understand and relate it properly, that we have made it big, but we don't have only this image, this much image. We have lots more image in outside, right? So the preserve bounding box is going to be, if I click on this, you can see we have the bounding box here. That means is what, that the image is still exists, it is not cropped. And this option, if you relate to with this Photoshop, then if I undo this one, and if I make this Control T and make it flip horizontal and flip vertically, and okay, so if I make it big right now and press Alt key and make it big, so you can see that we have this one, exactly same thing. If I press Control T, I can see this thing. Or if I don't press Control T, and if I select it, if I use this one, you can see that we have this area is inside of this gray area, right? So exactly the same thing is happening right here. And how to get it back? So if I go to reveal option, reveal all, then we can see these things, that whatever the pixel were hidden inside this gray value, so everything we have here. So if I double click on it, and if I see, if I do this, you can see we have all the information and full image we have. But the problem is, you can think about that now this nuke is going to calculate this area, not this area. So this is a very bad concept to have preserve bounding box, but some cases it's needed, like lens distortion, and we have to have that thing. But when you are going to render it out, then you have to crop it, otherwise there is the point of bounding box. So crop it, and then you can see there is no problem with this bounding box. But what happens if I press T key and if I have it like this? So it is cropped, there is no information. So now NECU is not going to calculate these things. So this is okay, but when you are 100% sure that you are going to render it out, then you have to use this crop node. Otherwise it will take long time, because you can see the pixel is not going to be seen finally, but it is going to be calculated while rendering. So this is not a good idea, right? So this is the reformat node we have here. All the thing, black outside is there, so you can know that in transform node also there was black outside. See, I have showed you in the previous classes that how you are going to use this black outside thing. And we can see we have this format, and it is format. If I change the format, it is going to be changed. You can see we have to make it well, you can see it is changing based on the root format. So this is only for reformat, means resize. You can say resize type, right? And if you don't need this, so scale is there, so you can scale it up. Or if you have bound this is box. 2 box means is what that we have width and height. So see, this is if I make it none, now you can see that we have a box. So now you can see we have this box. You can make it big, so maybe 300. Now you can see, but you can see that this 300 and this is 200. It should be, if I make it maybe 500, okay, and it is 100. So what should happen? It should happen like it should be squeezed. What if I want to make, so if I control T and press control and something like this, what if I want to do this? So what is this called? Right click and go to this distort, and then you can make this happen, right? Exactly the same thing you can do it here. If you make the resize to distort, you can see exact same thing right here, right? So exactly same parameters you have here and inside this Photoshop. So hope you have liked the demonstration I have given to you for this reformat node, and each and every option I have showed you with the comparison of Photoshop, so that you can relate to in a better way. So this is all about this reformat. Hope you have loved it. Thank you.